Yo, it's John, the Autoresponder Guy, coming to you from dropdeadcopy.com for another video session. Today, let's talk about how to make a sales letter flow. Now, let me start off by explaining a bit about how most people do sales letters, and this is really bad, okay? Because most people think, you just drop all these different elements on the page, like testimonials and social proof, a little bit of backstory, a bit about the problem, and then these different little like tactical things you just plug into the system. But the really good copywriters, if you go and study their sales letters, one thing that you'll notice that they do, amazingly, they're very, very good at, is understanding the flow. So when it's a slippery slope, that's another concept of way to understand it. But once the prospect reads the headline that meets them exactly where they're at, the same way Robert Collier mentions in his book, the Robert Collier letters, meet them where they are, and then the sales letter just links them, builds a bridge, it kind of joins them. It's a slippery slope, and it just paves the path from this location over here to this location, from point A to point B. Okay, so rather than it being just a jumble of tactics thrown onto the page in the hope that the prospect's going to read some of them, it's more important that it flows. So let's say if it's a cold prospect and they don't know who you are, then they're not going to buy anything. They're not going to be interested in hearing about your product until they know a little bit about who you are, right? And they're not going to care about who you are until they realize that they think there's going to be a solution to whatever problem they have, and they're not going to care about a solution until you open their mind to this idea of that they even have a problem in the first place, right? So if it's a cold prospect, don't start out at the pitch, right? You're going to meet the prospect where they're at, which means in your headline, start off and ask them, have you got a problem? Do you have back pain and you can't get rid of it, right? Do you make these mistakes in English? That's a classic one. Different things like that. So you want to meet the prospect where they're at, and then what's the next step? It's kind of like, once you've told them that, what is the next thing that you have to tell them to make them one step closer to buying? You don't have to do 10 steps. So don't have a catchy headline like that and then go straight into the pitch. You want to step-by-step sales. This is what you might call it, step by step. So the first step is to get their attention. To get their attention, you need to meet them where they're at, and then we do step by step. And this is how you make a sales letter flow. Because you meet the prospect where they're at, and then they read the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and there's a natural evolution that just flows from one thing to the next, right? Now, another way to look at or another example is a warm prospect, someone who already knows who you are, right? Someone who knows a bit about what you do, someone who's aware that they have a problem and they know there's a solution out there. When you send them to a sales letter, don't give them the story, don't give them the backstory, right? Because in most cases, they're going to be ready to buy. They just need to know a bit more about the product, right? So the sales letter just needs to show them the product. This is a classic for, let's say traffic from email. So if you have an autoresponder and you're driving traffic from there, that means that people are already going to have a relationship with you. They know a bit about who you are. They're aware of everything that you talk about in the autoresponder. So these are the reasons that when they land on that sales page, they don't need to hear about any of that again. They just need to know if the product's going to work for them. So just tell them that, right? So this is how you make sales letters flow, is you meet the prospect where they're at, right? You enter the conversation that's going on in their head right now, and you just build a bridge, step by step. Think of building like a staircase up to heaven. It's like building a bridge across a valley. These are different concepts to help you understand this. So this is extremely important. It's a bit of a high-level concept, and this goes beyond just applying some copywriting checklist that you can find online. This is strategy, right? This is copy and marketing strategy. Extremely important stuff. If you take the time to put this together, you're going to be so much better off. Okay, I'm the Autoresponder Guy. I'll see you next time for another video session.